Hey, I'm Al McGee with WhyAintTicket.com, but I'm here with the MovieNight.net, Steve Leibowitz at www.themovienight.net. We're going to talk about Tron Ares. Now, this is the new Tron, and the other Tron was about 12, 13 years ago. But let me
15.
tell you a little bit about the first Tron. It's about programmer Kevin Flynn, played by Jeff Bridges, and he created a lot of good video games for the Incom Corporation, which is in this new film. And he got stuck in the grid. So, what do you think about this film, Stephen?
Oh, I remember when the first Tron came out, and I loved that movie. It was such a fun movie. Computer graphics at the time, because that came out in the 80s, was just mind blowing at that time. Like today, you can probably do it on your cell phone almost. And I remember when Legacy came out 15 years ago. I didn't love it. It was okay. I mean, it had been like 20 some odd years, 30 some odd years since the last Tron movie came out when that came out. And it's funny, I rewatched it the night before we saw Ares, and I liked it better the second time. But this time, Al, I really enjoyed Ares. Of course, Jared Leto is Ares. He's like the program made by the main bad guy in the first movie. But his grandson is now the main bad guy in this one, and he's actually and plays it to perfection. He's like a real slime ball, the kind of villain you really do hate, like the one that you really do root against, and that's not always hard. That's not always easy to do to play the villain well. So
Ex- exactly.
so
I like Jared Leto in this, but again, I like the villain. I love Evan Peters as Julian Dillinger in this. He's the grandson of Ed Dillinger, who put, Jeff Bridges, Kevin Flynn in the grid back in the day. And also, not only that, I really enjoyed Jodie-Turner Smith. Again, she's the villain, but again, you rooting against her. And they're going after this character here, and I tell you, this is a good film where you got someone to root for and root against.
right. And like the other person in the film, Greta Lee, is like Eva Kim. She like sort of taken over the company now, and she has like a way to help make like a program to stay out in the real world permanently. So and of course the main guy wants that for his own like selfish needs. He's like he wants to use Ares as a military weapon. And Ares, of course, starts getting some like a conscious and wants to not maybe just like go against this program. And
Well,
it's
but
funny.
that's the part, Holy, that's the part that had me confused. How did he develop that? I think he tried to explain that in the film, but I maybe it skipped over my head, something like that. But how did he just came up with this so-called consciousness, as we call it, that he made decisions on his own? And I didn't get that part.
And funny because he does describe funny because just a feeling, like something that developed because basically AI gets to the point where to the point where it can do that. I remember I guess a scene where he sees rain, and the rain sort of almost like hits him and programs him some kind of weird way because um it's not fully explained, but through his acting, you sort of see like he's just not like automaton. It's like he really was like you could see like an inner turmoil going on, like when he's like asked to do something he knows is wrong. So and you know what? It's one of those things you just accept. I did accept it. I don't need everything to explained to
Right.
me. I can just go with it and enjoy the film. And also, I mean, this film had some nice action to it too. I was like, and it's fun. The scenes inside the grid world and out in our world. And usually before all the action before was always inside the grid. Now we got some action coming to the outside world. So I did not know what to expect of this movie. I was like, yeah, okay, maybe be good, maybe be bad. But Al I had a real fun time with Ares. I think it solidifies the Tron franchise, and I hope it keeps going.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too. Not only that, they had some really good actors. They had Julian Anderson in this. Man, I was really surprised to see her. And also an Arturo Castro. and Cameron Monaghan and Hassan Minhaj. And man, I tell you, this was a very good film to watch. And like you said, it brought the action outside the grid into the real world.
Exactly. No, so I thought, and I liked that they went that direction. That they did something different from the other two. So, I give it full props. I said the director who whose name I'm not going to try to say, unfortunately. He is who he is, but he's done
No,
it.
it's Hakeem Ronin.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
But he did like one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. So he's done some big like Disney large scale action projects.
Yeah,
So he so you
yeah.
know he so I'm glad he brought his experience to this film. Like I said, it was like I said, it's one of those good times at the box office. We're getting into fall. We're getting into award season. I don't think it's really up for any Oscars, but it's a time where you want to have some good, go to the movies again, have some fun. I know it's October and there's usually horror films right now, but Tron Ares, I think it's going to be a big success at the box office. I think fans of the franchise are going to love it, and I think even new fans, you can come into
But
this
hold on,
movie.
let me ask you this question though. What did you think of Nine Inch Nails movie? I mean, music. I really enjoyed the music in this film. It was very powerful, and it really went with the film. And again, it was Nine Inch Nails who created the original music for this film. What do you think of that?
Well, that's funny because last week we reviewed the Smash Machine, and I talked about how I thought the music didn't fit the movie, 'cause I thought it worked against it. The Nine Inch Nails soundtrack, yes, works really well with the set movie soundtrack. So yes, I thought it very well complemented the movie, and it helps enhance and make it a better experience for sure. Thankfully, they didn't go with the jazz soundtrack.
Yeah, I agree with you. The music was very fantastic. And again, seeing it in IMAX and with that sound system in IMAX, it really was very thrilling.
I can feel the vibrations in my feet. Man, yeah, you definitely got to see that in IMAX if you can, or even that 4K. That's probably been a better experience. So you can see it in a large screen format or some kind of other enhanced, way to go see it. You absolutely should pay the extra money to go see it that way. It's well worth the extra few bucks.
It sure is. Well, you know what? I'm going to rate this film three palm trees out of four. The reason I'm doing three palm trees wasn't a perfect film to me, but I tell you this, it was not, well, you're going to recognize something, say, oh, this is going to happen now. No, that didn't happen in this film, but I'm giving it three palm trees out of four.
I'm right there with you, Al. Three swords out of four.
All
Yeah,
right.
it was an enjoyable film. Like I said, it didn't have a predictability factor, which I liked. Uh, And there's a mid-credit scene too. That's a great, and there's a lot of good callbacks to the original film, the original Tron movie. A lot of good Easter eggs from the original Tron, and that also was a delight to see.
Well, I want to thank you, Stephen Leibowitz, the MovieNight.net. And thank you for coming on where we just got through talking about Tron Ares. I want to thank you very much.
Always fun, Al. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.